Religiously, understand the 7 principles of hell. You'll understand the 7 demons within you. You'll understand that whole concept. It's a whole metaphysical concept. We ain't go over that, but it means outside in. You have to work from the inside out. Right. The reason people can't manifest because they don't even believe they can have what they.
If I knew then what I know now, sometimes I wonder, would I be the same or would I be different? A shorty still believes in fairy tales and imagination that lasts forever. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of times, fix my mistakes, will things change? Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life, help me see the light through all the pain and strife. I wake up in the morning feeling lost and alone, wondering if life's worth living or if I should grab the throne. The weight of the world on my shoulders is hard to bear. I see no change, it's like nobody cares. I look in the mirror, see a stranger staring back, lost in the world that's spinning off track. I ask myself, is this all there is, or should I give up and let the darkness win? I see no change, just the same old game. Wake up in the morning, I ask myself, is life worth living, or should I blast myself? I see no change, just the same old pain, but I know deep down, I gotta break these chains. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of time, fix my mistakes, will things change? Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life, help me see the light through all the pain and strife. If I can go back in time, tell my younger self it's gonna be fine. Embrace the challenges, let your light shine. You'll grow and learn, just give it time. Hey young me, listen up, don't be afraid. Life's a journey, mistakes will be made. Chase your dreams, don't let them fade. Believe in yourself, you'll make the grade. Don't stress about what others say. Stay true to yourself every day. Love deeply, laugh often. Don't delay, cause in the end, it's how you play. Be kind to others along the way. Spread love and positivity each day. Don't worry about what they may say, cause your uniqueness is here to stay. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of times, fix my mistakes, will things change? Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life, help me see the light through all the pain and strife. If I can meet my younger self, I tell her not to be afraid, that courage will be her wealth and bravery will never fade. Don't fear the challenges ahead, for you'll face them head on. Your inner strength will dawn. You'll grow up to be a warrior, standing tall, unafraid and strong. A parent, a role model, and inspired, fighting for what's right all along. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of time, fix my mistakes, will things change? Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life, help me see the light through all the pain and strife. Looking back on all the roads I've traveled, regrets and lessons learned along the way, but still holding on to hope and faith that with God's grace, a brighter day will come our way. I see no change at all. I'm stuck in this cycle, feeling so small. I ask myself, is this all there is, or should I just end it all with a final kiss? I try to stay strong, but it's getting harder each day. The pain and the struggle won't seem to go away. I'm tired of the lies, tired of the deceit. I see no change, just defeat after defeat. I wake up in the morning feeling lost and alone, wondering if life's worth living or if I should grab the throne. The weight of the world on my shoulders is hard to bear. I see no change, it's like nobody cares. Deep down I know I must fight, I won't let the darkness consume me. I'll shine my light, I'll rise above the pain, I'll break free from these chains. I'll find my purpose and I'll make a change. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of times, fix my mistakes, will things change? Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life, help me see the light through all the pain and strife. Sometimes in life we make so many mistakes, and we think that when we fall we're not able to get up. We listen to those that, talk in our ear, tell us that they, are there for us. And at the end of the day, what's crazy? A friend ain't nothing but a dollar in your pocket. Family is what you make of it. Family is not who you're born into. Alright? So we need to pick ourselves up and do what we gotta do. Life is not for you to sit around and wait for Superman to come save you. Only you can save yourself.
Just like that.
Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble morning. Continue to have a blessed and humble day. This y'all shorty Racheal. I want to welcome all of y'all to the Writers for Life. Brings you the Let's Talk About It podcast, y'all. Hey, let's talk about it. What's trending? We have an open panel discussion on current events and more, right? Let's have some unfiltered conversations. There's so many things going on, right? Especially here in Philadelphia, right? We have been having, the gun violence here in Philly has risen dramatically. You see where I'm coming from? I hear so many people asking,
Where are these kids getting these guns? What's going on with the parents, right? Listen, here in Philly, man, we struggle just like everywhere else, right? The problem is with a lot of parents, right? We are failing our kids, right? We could be doing the best we can, right? And I know there's a lot of parents out there that ain't shit, don't deserve to be called parents, right? But we have to find ways to get our kids off these streets, to get them motivated, right? There's so many things going on. We have a man, right, who had a permit to carry, boom, he got charged, right, with murder. Father arrested for shooting 3 of his sons. Terrifying mother, right? Mourning mother demanding answers after daughter never makes it to school, right? Teen charged with with sexual assault of a 12-year-old doing a car theft. It is so much going on right here in Philly. And I know it's not just happening in Philly, right? But a shorty is always covering news around the world. Philly is getting out of pocket, man. I want to give a big shout out to Cheryl Parker, man. I have to have a one-on-one with Cheryl Parker. So I'm gonna find a way to see how I can have a sit down with Cheryl Parker. See if she'll, do a video with me for the subscribers here on YouTube for y'all to, see what it is that we're going to do here in Philly when it's, about this gun violence. I know that they've had meetings, they've had, rallies and stuff like that. But, let's go deeper into it. I want to, actually talk to the mayor, give her some of my opinions, some of my ideas. And I would love to hear from the subscribers. What do y'all think, right, when it comes to talking to the Congress people about these situations that we're having within our communities? What type of questions, can we add? Let's get to the root of the problem. Do you think that do y'all believe that the Congress people can help us, right, when it comes to these situations? So let's get this podcast started, right? Unless somebody wants to come up and start a conversation, or Shorty is going to review and react to a few videos from here in Philadelphia, right, which involve the current news. So I want to ask a couple questions before I do get this live started, and I want y'all to keep these questions in mind as we watching these videos, right? And after each video, I'm going to ask a few more questions, and I would love to hear those to catch the replay, right? For y'all to leave y'all comments, y'all opinions down below. And let's get the discussion started. Here on this channel, y'all opinions matter. We're not here to bash. We're not here to bring nobody down, but we're here to bring solutions to the table. So, with that being said, guys, does having a permit to carry automatically justify the use of deadly force? So, does you having a permit to carry a weapon, no matter what city or state that you're in, does it justify for you to, use deadly force on somebody? And I feel as though that if it's on self-defense, right, and it's your life against theirs, yes. But if it's not, I don't know what to say. Should self-defense laws be reevaluated to prevent unnecessary shootings? And how does the presence of firearms in public spaces impact community safety, right? And I feel as though, like, if you have a permit to carry, a license to carry and all that, right? I don't see the issue with somebody having a hoister on their side, right? Or, I think they're hoisters too, right? The ones you put on the side like that on your body. But either way, I don't see the problem with you carrying your weapon, right? If somebody sees it, they sees it. It's not like you're carrying in your hands, looking like you're going to shoot somebody, like you're playing a game of Grand Theft Auto or nothing like that. You see where I'm coming from? So once again, in y'all opinion, I would like to hear y'all opinion on this question. How does the presence of firearms in public spaces impact community safety, right? I know we can go deeper into that, but I would love to hear y'all comments first, right? Should gun owners receive more training on conflict resolution before being allowed to carry any weapon? Listen. Should we? A lot of us do training and stuff like that. Like we practice and stuff in the range and all that, but should we? I think that's a little excessive, right? I mean, if you're an officer of the law, then yeah, you should receive some training. But now, right, if you're holding a weapon and you are, trying to defend yourself, and it's your life once again on the line, it's my life or your life. I mean, let us know what y'all think. So we're gonna get started on this video, right? Because I don't think anybody's up right now. I don't think anybody's watching. But guess what? A shorty is still gonna play this. A shorty is still gonna speak her mind, right? And after this, we're gonna be talking on what's going on with the food stamps. All right.
Deadly shooting inside a details in a deadly shooting inside a West Philadelphia corner grocery store earlier this week. Our Steve Keeley, who was on scene minutes after, has more on the 15-year-old who was hit and killed, and now the man charged with his murder.
That's crazy.
22-year-old Jaquan Higgs has now been charged with murder in the double shooting homicide Wednesday here inside the Maryland grocery store at 54th and Ray Streets just past 2 p.m. Philadelphia police sources tell me Higgs stayed on scene at the store after shooting 2 armed juveniles, killing a 15-year-old and critically wounding a 16-year-old shot in the face.
This is what I be saying, man. Will these little boys ever grow up and become men? Will they put their toys away?
Philadelphia police sources identify the 15-year-old as Seth Marshall, who was shot and killed while armed with this semi-automatic gun with an extended magazine. Witnesses inside the store picked it up and put it under a car across the street to keep it from being used as they ran out of the store.
Yo, this shit's crazy. In his 20s, still thinking he playing Grand Theft Auto. Like, I think I'm not sure if it was a few years back, right? I think it was a few years back. I remember, it was way longer than that, if I'm not mistaken. I think, this was before I hit my 20s, I think. So it's not even a few years back. This is way longer. I don't know if y'all remember. I think a while back, right? I'm 35. So if anybody's around my age, right? There was it's been a minute. So it's hard to put together, right? Where I remember seeing on the news where these kids were actually, playing, acting out the games in real life, right? Playing Grand Theft Auto out here in real life, doing the things that they did in the games and all that, right? And I think they was doing some type of research, right, on was the games affecting the kids and stuff like that. I mean, I'm a little curious, like, but still, like, this is not a kid, this is a grown-ass man. And if grown-ass people get like this, right, grown-ass adults do things like this, what makes y'all think that, it's going to be easier for a child? Means, listen, we're the ones teaching, and they're seeing. This was not self-defense right here.
Police found it and took it in. One of 3 guns recovered. Police say this 16-year-old also had a gun that was found inside the store.
Oh, shit.
Police sources tell me that Higgs has a permit to legally carry a concealed weapon. Police took his gun that day too. As he told detectives, he fired at the 2 teenagers in self-defense. Sources say store surveillance shows that neither teen pulled their guns out before they were shot. The store video.
That's crazy. He said he shot in self-defense, but do people forget that there's surveillance cameras everywhere, even in these streets? When y'all look up and y'all see these poles, I want y'all to look up when y'all come out. At least 1 out of every 3 poles has a camera. And people have not noticed that yet. In every corner, there's going to be a camera recording you. And if not in at least 1, 2, 3, 4, listen, every few houses within every block in every community has a camera. So no matter where you're at, you're going to be recorded. I swear to God, we got the dumbest thieves, robbers, and I don't know what in this era.
Video shows the 15-year-old's gun visibly sticking out of his waistband as he was near the front door and raised his phone, not his gun, and began typing a text and was just 2 letters in when he was shot in the head and killed. The 16-year-old is seen on the store surveillance paying for his food order at the front counter when he was shot. Both teens, sources tell me, have extensive criminal records despite their young ages. The 15-year-old, law enforcement sources say, was wanted on weapons charges in Montgomery County.
Damn.
Higgs had no criminal record at all, allowing him to legally get a permit to carry. And he lived right across the street from the store on Ray Street, and sources say most everybody knew that he carried a gun, and he was a regular, almost daily customer of the store. Tonight, he is charged with murder, attempted murder, and more, as he will now have to make his self-defense claim in a courtroom.
What in the world made this man pull his weapon out at these kids? Because he saw them carrying a weapon?
The street to keep it from being used and a 16-year-old shot in the face. Philadelphia police sources identify the 15-year-old as Seth Marshall, who was shot and killed while armed with this semi-automatic gun with an extended magazine. Witnesses inside the store picked it up and put it under a car across the street to keep it from being used as they ran out of the store. Police found it and took it in. One of 3 guns recovered. Police say the 16-year-old also had a gun that was found inside the store. Police sources tell me that Higgs has a permit to legally carry a concealed weapon. Police took his gun that day too. As he told detectives, he fired at the 2 teenagers in self-defense. Sources say store surveillance shows that neither teen pulled their guns out before they were shot. The store video shows the 15-year-old's gun visibly sticking out of his waistband as he was near the front door and raised his phone, not his gun, and began typing a text and was just 2 letters in when he was shot in the head and killed.
Oh, shit. So the boy was skissing. He may have had a permit to carry, right? But he was skissing. He saw the boy with a ratchet pulling his phone out, right? And he was texting. So in his head, he's like, yo, I'm going to get you before your homies come. That is crazy. He was skissing. So, right? That leads back to the question that I was asking. Where was it? How does the presence of firearms in public spaces impact community safety, right? And I feel as though, right, now that I'm hearing it like this, right, and I see it a lot of people get scary when they see somebody holding a pistol on their waist. Why? I don't know. Like, if they're not using it towards you, I don't know why you're skitzing, why you feeling like, unless these people were beefing. I mean, they could have been beefing. These young bulls had ratchets on them. Bull had a permit. He had, everybody knew that he was carrying. What happened? What was they, were words being exchanged? Or that they exchanged words before? What made him pull his pistol out at 2 teens? Does the legal system treat self-defense cases fairly, or is there a bias in prosecution? How does public perception influence the outcome of cases involving legal gun owners? And should surveillance footage play a bigger role in determining guilt or innocence? And what's crazy is the young bulls did not pull their gun out. Now, if you from the streets, right, and they could have been ops, we don't know. We don't know if they were ops, right? He's in his 20s, yes, they're teens, but we don't know what he could have had a clean record, which means, he probably didn't get caught before. Knows what he's doing, right? Why pull the pistol out though? Like, that's why I keep asking, were there exchange of words? Did they know each other before this, right? Because according to the report, right, the teens didn't pull a gun out, but they pulled their phone out and started texting. He didn't even get to the 3rd word. He was only 2 words in when he got unalived. So was he reaching to get, was he trying to get more people to come? Like, yo, he's right here. You see where I'm coming from? I don't know. Listen, these stories are getting more and more crazier. Are businesses responsible for ensuring safety when customers carry firearms? And I don't think so. Because if you have a license to carry and you have a permit to carry, what can the business owner do? You have a license to carry. And I feel as though that the fear of crime is what makes people, right, get scared to the fact when they see someone hold a firearm, especially with everything that's going on now. You don't know who's who and who's going to do what. So my question to y'all is, before we go into the next video, does the fear of crime justify carrying a weapon, or does it escalate conflict? And how can communities work together to prevent violent confrontations, right? So I want y'all to keep those thoughts in mind, right? And let us shorty know what y'all think, right? Leave your comments down below, right? And let's get the discussion started. How can we help how can we help prevent these type of incidents, right? When the teens, right, and the youth, let's put it like this, the youth, right, are possessing these, how can I say, yes, are possessing these guns, right, from different sources. And can't no one pinpoint where is the source. Unless the young bull snitches. You see where I'm coming from? Oh, shit, what am I doing? Hold on. Hey, why are you messing with me? So like I was saying, like, unless the young bull snitches and stuff like that. So for me, like I said, we're trying to find solutions. So I would love to hear y'all comments down below, right? What y'all think and how y'all feel. So with that being said, right, we're gonna move on to the next topic, right? We have a father being arrested for shooting his 3 kids. I don't know. I mean, listen, this has been happening before the pandemic, but I don't know what's going on, because I feel as though it's getting worse and worse and worse, right? Because I don't know if it's social media that's bringing it out more, right? The news, what? But when I was younger, shit, I didn't, hear about parents unaliving their children, or children unaliving their kids as much as I do now. That's the crazy part. So before we get started on this video, I want to ask y'all, what drives a parent to commit violence against their own children? Right? Because I still can't figure that out. How does trauma from family violence affect children long term? And can early intervention in family disputes prevent tragedies like this one, like this in the video that we're about to watch? Does society overlook warning signs of domestic violence within families? And I feel as though the society does. It really does, and it's because a lot of people want to mind their own business. Once how can I say, once you stick your nose in somebody's business, it's curtains. It's like, why did I even try to help this person? Why did I even do anything? Why did I say anything? Right? But right now we're gonna try to figure out what happened with this father, right? Why was he arrested for shooting his 3 sons? What is going on?
First tonight at 10, a father is behind bars accused of shooting his 3 sons. Amazingly, they all survived. It happened along sunlit Coral Street in Ruskin. And Fox 13's Evan Moon is live outside the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office for us tonight. Evan, what happened here?
Just a crazy story. Investigators tell us that Christopher Brown and his sons got into an argument over a car that ended up in shots fired at his own 3 children. Luckily, they're all okay. We spoke with some neighbors out there today. 3 kids shot by their own father. Now that man faces potential life in prison.
When you look at the
Over a car? Oh, what happened? Oh shit, y'all can't see this shit. Hold on, my computer is acting up. Yes, I have no cash right now, baby. She did this right in the Aaron, I apologize. Technical difficulties. I don't know what's up. Everything just froze up on me. So give me 1 second while I put the video up for y'all, man. Father behind bar for shooting his 3 sons.
Shooting his 3 sons. First tonight at 10, a father is behind bars, accused of shooting his 3 sons. Amazingly, they all survived. It happened along sunlit Coral Street in Ruskin. And Fox 13's Evan Moon is live outside the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office for us tonight. Evan, what happened here?
Why these people got these loud ass
Just a crazy story. Investigators tell us that Christopher Brown and his sons got into an argument over a car that ended up in shots fired at his own 3 children. Luckily, they're all okay. We spoke with some neighbors out there today. 3 kids shot by their own father. Now that man faces potential life in prison.
When you look at the facts of this case, we know this defendant did everything he could do to try and kill his children.
A fight between the family.
Well, he said it down. He tried everything he could do to unalive his children. Why? What in the world?
Only broke out Sunday morning around 11 a.m. outside the home in Ruskin. The sheriff's office saying the fight was about a car. 36-year-old Christopher Brown hit one of his 3 kids in the head with a gun, causing the gun to fire and graze the child's ear and jaw.
His first child, he pistol whips him. After pistol whipping, he takes out his gun and shoots him, missing his body but hitting him in the earlobe, striking his ear.
With one boy shot, the other...
Yo, so he beats his kid with a pistol and then he tries to unalive them? That deep over... Yo, what is wrong with people, yo? I'm telling you, like... What is the thing with people in these cars? Why is it that people want... Yo, I swear people are more possessive over their cars than what they... Like, I swear people love their cars more than what they love their family.
2 brothers ran at their dad as he tried to get into his car. But investigators say Brown then fired several rounds at his other 2 sons.
Damn.
Both were hit and taken to Tampa General Hospital. Thankfully, all 3 boys survived. One neighbor saw it all unfold on his Ring camera.
Our camera was blowing up. I look and I see about 5 police officers, a paramedic, people running around. Text messages start blowing up, seeing like, are we safe? You know what's going on. So real crazy situation.
And several neighbors say it wasn't the first time Brown and his boys had issues.
You know, I have small children, like not even feeling safe to do what normal kids do and just run up and down the street without worrying about fights breaking out, gunshots breaking out.
Court documents show one child had a digital recording, what may have been a voicemail afterwards from the dad that said, quote, "I tried to take your life. You won't make it to Wednesday." Now the state attorney filed a pretrial motion to keep Brown behind bars until his trial.
He's a threat to the community based upon...
Yo, that's crazy. You won't make it till Wednesday. That's what he said to his own kids.
Tried to take your life. You won't make it to Wednesday. Now the state attorney filed a pretrial motion to keep Brown behind bars until his trial.
He's a threat to the community based upon his long criminal history, based upon...
A threat to the community. Bull. Oh, he possessed. This nigga's carrying a demon inside of him. Whoa, we really is at a spiritual war right now.
On his prior record, based upon the facts of this case, they're going to show this court why he shouldn't be released.
The Hillsborough County Sheriff saying this was a senseless and alarming act of violence that could have had an even more devastating outcome.
Ultimately, this defendant is looking at a minimum mandatory of 25 years in prison for shooting his child, up to life in prison.
Man, fuck that. They should throw away the key. Yo, life in prison. Yo, I feel as though, man, we building caskets up in this bitch, yo. Yo, what in the world is wrong with people? Over a fucking... Yo, listen, man. Money is replaceable. Cars are replaceable. You know what's not replaceable? Those that you care, those that you love. Like, you can't bring them back. But you can always replace money, man. Listen, man, I could tear up $100 bill right now and make that, Whoo. Yo, I'm telling you, man. Something is wrong with parents nowadays, yo. Like, I don't know what it is. And it sure as hell ain't the pandemic. It sure as hell not the pandemic. They need to give this father the book. They really do. Like, I'm not sure what's going on. Like, I feel as though, right, when parents do this, their sentencing should be harsher, right? So, for y'all, my question is, should sentencing be harsher for parents who harm their children? I would listen. I know I'm saying, throw, like, oh my God, book them and throw away the key. But in reality, let's build some caskets. I feel as though that parents that do this, right, should get the death penalty. Y'all shouldn't be here. Why? What role does mental health evaluation play in cases like this? Does it seem like this father was suffering from some type of mental health issues, right? What can be done to prevent similar tragedies in the future? Are violent family disputes becoming more common, or are they just more visible due to media coverage? And that's what I had asked earlier, right? Was it always like this, or is it that social media, now since social media has come out, right, in the early 2000s, is exposing what we didn't see within communities? How does the portrayal of family violence in movies and TV influence real life cases, guys? I would love to hear y'all comments down below. Man, for those of y'all catching the replay, like, hey, listen, man, we're not here to bash. We're here to bring solutions to the table. This is crazy. All right. So we got a mother, right, that's demanding answers. And I know I'm doing a lot of research on this video, right? And there's a reason that I'm doing a lot of research on this video, right? Because I need to hear about the updates and what's going on. But we have a mom and that's been demanding answers. Imagine, right, waking up one morning, taking your child to school, right, and your child never returning home. What would you do as a parent? Right, and with the way things are now, right? Because now they got cameras in these buses, right? I need to look into this video, and I'm about to go down the rabbit hole on this video. I got to find more, research on it. How did this little girl disappear? Right? Did she disappear in the bus? Did she disappear during school? You see, this is why I'm saying that we need more surveillance cameras within these schools, right? And more security. How can schools ensure substitute drivers are properly trained and informed about their routes? Should GPS tracking be mandatory for all school buses to prevent incidents like this? But if they have, they got cameras that don't have a GPS tracking. So besides the cameras, should we have a GPS tracking in our school buses to find out where these buses are going with our children and much more? I mean, there's been a lot of cases, right? I mean, shit, where kids have been, brought back to school. There's been a lot of cases. I mean, shit, we should put a GPS track on our kids. Fuck that. Like, shit, with everything that's happening, man, stick that shit right inside of them so we don't get lost. I mean, it sounds fucked up, and I know they only do that to animals, but it's to the point, like, what's going on? Where are these kids, going? Who's taking them? Where are they getting taken to? What protocols should be in place to prevent children from being taken on the wrong locations? And how does a traumatic experience like this affect a child's trust in school transportation, right? So we're going to get this video started. And while we get this video started, I'm going to see if the computer doesn't mess with me and I'm able to get the link to change.org so that we can, y'all can sign the petition, right? We can get more signatures and we can try to get more security, more cameras into these schools. All right. And yes, it's working, guys. So, listen, I'm not the only parent out here with a petition like this, right? And if you want to become a part of this, the parents that are trying to make the schools safer for our kids, you can start your own petition from whatever city and state that you're in to help support all the parents that are doing this worldwide.
Only on Action News, 2 students are shaken tonight after a traumatizing bus ride.
Instead of taking the children to school, the driver headed to the heart of Kensington. One of the children's parents used a tracking device to find her daughter after the girl called her mom, alerting something was wrong.
It's Thursday night, and the big story in Action News is a child distraught and a livid mother demanding answers.
What in the world was this driver thinking? Hold a minute. Wait a minute. So this motherfucker did not take the kids to school. He took them to the heart of Kensington. Why? What in the world was going through this dude's head? What the?
Answers after what was supposed to be an ordinary trip to school.
But it was anything from ordinary. Action News reporter John Paul live for us now in Port Richmond with this Action News exclusive. John.
Yeah, Shari, Rick, I'm here at First Student. This is the company that employed that driver. This is where they park their buses, but the company's not saying anything about it tonight. However, that mother is talking. She wants some answers.
I would too.
I really felt like my daughter was kidnapped. I really did.
Heart-pounding moments this morning for Kelly Monahan after her 11-year-old daughter never made it to Mariana Bracetti Academy, where she attends school. A substitute driver picked up her daughter and a 9-year-old girl, but says that the driver seemed lost. In fact, Monahan tracked her daughter with Life 360 and showed us the confusing route the driver took, nowhere near the school. Her daughter's...
What was that? What is that, like a phone or something? What she tracked her with? Listen, is that thing they've been talking about for a minute already? I think I've been hearing about this for a minute. But is that the phone or is... All right, let's continue, Rachel. Shut up.
The driver seemed lost. In fact, Monahan tracked her daughter with Life 360 and showed us the confusing route the driver took, nowhere near the school. Her daughter says the driver even asked her where to go.
The bus driver said she didn't know what school they went to.
Ooh.
Why would you ask the student that has an IEP what school
and they were special needs?
Well, instead of taking those kids to school, the driver actually brought them here near McPherson Square. This is near the heart of Kensington. This is an area known for drugs and crime.
That's why I just
on the side of the road at Kensington and McPherson, where all of the...
That's why I was like, why? Out of all places there? Where's the substitute driver from? He must not be from Philly. See, like, yo, it's crazy. Like, we don't have no teachers, no drivers that are from Philadelphia that want to, work for their own community. Because it seems like a lot of these substitute teachers, a lot of these substitute drivers for the schools and stuff like that are not from Philly at all.
The drugs are.
Monahan
Road.
where she attends school. A substitute driver picked up her daughter and a 9-year-old girl, but says that the driver seemed lost. In fact, Monahan tracked her daughter with Life 360 and showed us the confusing route the driver took, nowhere near the school. Her daughter says the driver even asked her where to go.
The bus driver said she didn't know what school they went to. Why would you ask the student that has an IEP what school they go to?
Well, instead of taking those kids to school, the driver actually brought them here near McPherson Square. This is near the heart of Kensington. This is an area known for drugs and crime.
Park on the side of the road at Kensington and McPherson, where all of the drugs are.
Monahan rushed to that area and found her daughter still in the bus.
And my daughter's on the bus crying hysterically, "Mommy, mommy, mommy," and she just wouldn't let her, and then she grabbed her hand and told her to get back.
Eventually, police got there and Monahan was reunited with her traumatized daughter. But why did the driver end up nearly 2?
No, see, man, look, listen, in a situation like this, I think Laura gonna have to listen. God, listen, teach me some humbleness, because if this bitch right here trying to hold my shorty back and I'm trying to get my shorty out the bus after you fucked up, bitch, almost got my child lost or probably killed with your dumb ass, oh hell, all hell would have broke loose. Oh no, listen, we building a casket for you too. The fuck wrong with you? You fucked up and you're telling me I can't get my no. Yo, we gotta do better. We have got to do better.
2 miles from the school. We were there as she went to the company, first student, to get answers. We talked to her as she left the building.
They weren't trying to cooperate. I asked who the manager was. They don't know who the manager is.
How the fuck they don't know who the
different
manager
supervisors
is?
for everything.
Meanwhile, she says her daughter is scarred from the experience.
You know what's crazy? It's the same thing. When I went to the dean, right, for the school district here in Philadelphia, they was lost and confused. I'm sitting here, how you don't know what the fuck is going on within your schools? Well, Miss Santiago, listen. So unorganized, so unprofessional. So it's still happening. This is why, we need to make some changes, but y'all want the government to keep coming over here and putting S on their chest, right? What can we do to work together as communities to better our communities, to get the support that we need? And when we get it, hey, we can't listen. We can't be scared to try and see. But too many are. Why are so many people scared to try and see?
With a week left of school.
She's scared. She's begging me, "Mommy, please don't ever put you on the bus again."
And then mom tells me she won't be putting her daughter on that bus again. Now, Shari, we did reach out several times to First Student, their media team. We are waiting to hear back, and we'll bring you whatever answers they give us as soon as they return our calls. We're live tonight in Port Richmond. John Paul, Channel 6 Action News. Shari?
Yeah, of course, people want to know what happened and what.
If this was your child, wouldn't you want to know what happened? Shit, of course. A lot of people want to know what happened. How in the world did this bus driver sit here, right, and get lost like that? They have GPSs on the phones. You're telling me that not once did this bus driver think about pulling the phone out and saying, well, look, listen, I know the school's supposed to be here. This is the address to it. This is where I'm supposed to be going. Let me type in this address on my GPS on the phone real quick, right? So I can get these kids there. No, then a grown mofo want to sit here and ask kids, how do I get to your school? Let's make that one make sense.
And now to an update on a car.
What in the world is going on? All right. Now, this is going to be the last video we show you on current news, so we can go right into the snaps, right? Because, like, listen, man, I don't know what's up with everybody and these snaps, but there's more and more people complaining about it. Trump. You've got the women going crazy on social media, man. Hold on one second, guys. While I set this up real quick, let me put this on. All right, y'all. So we're gonna get started with the video, right? But before we do, we're gonna ask y'all some questions, right? We have a case of where somebody got sexually assaulted, right? Should juveniles charged with violent crimes like rape be tried as adults? In my personal opinion, I feel as though they should. But then at the same time, I feel as though they should go through some type of rehabilitation. But will that work, right? And it's been proven that not even castration works for those that, have them type of thoughts in their heads, right? How does the legal system provide enough protection for child victims of sexual assault? And how does public outrage influence the prosecution of cases involving minors? Should sentencing laws be stricter for crimes involving children? And if it's involving sexual assault, I feel as though that a 17-year-old should be charged, right? So we have a 17-year-old will be charged with sexual assault, contact with a minor, and similar offense for the abduction and sexual assault of a 12-year-old girl in Philadelphia.
And now to an update on a car theft involving the sexual assault of a 12-year-old girl. We now know a 17-year-old boy has been arrested and charged. Philadelphia police say last week the teen stole a car left running with the girl asleep in the back seat. This was along West Erie Avenue.
That's crazy.
They found that vehicle a short time later. And Kelly, that suspect will remain in the juvenile justice system.
Sheba, that's right. So law enforcement sources told us today that this teen does have a history of sexual assault arrests as a juvenile.
Oh, wow. So this teen has a history. So we don't know if this teen has had some trauma, right? Which, I mean, is, somebody that is going through it, right? And is actually inflicting the same that has been put on him to others, right? Or he's seeing something like this happening somewhere around him, right? How can communities work together to prevent crimes of opportunity like this? Should parents be more cautious about leaving children unattended in vehicles? Does law enforcement have enough resources to track and prevent child abductions? And what role does education play in preventing sexual violence amongst youth? And what's crazy is, right, a 17-year-old is still considered a youth, right? He's still a minor. He's still a teen. And what's crazy, this teen has committed similar acts like this in the past. So it doesn't even seem like rehabilitation will work. So charge his little ass and throw away the key. Y'all know what I think. We have a special place for people like that. Where they at? Oh, where the coffin's at? Where the coffin's at?
Police did say today he will be charged with rape, contact with a minor, among other related offenses. But a spokesperson for the district attorney's office said this case will remain in the juvenile system.
It's just tragic all around.
Whoa,
Philadelphia Police Department Special Victims Unit announcing the arrest of.
So we have a juvenile that's going to be charged as a juvenile committing adult acts. A juvenile being charged as a juvenile committing adult acts. See, the little girl that he hurt is going to have trauma, and she's going to need therapy. How does trauma from sexual assault affect young victims long term? And it affects them a lot, right? From experience, as a survivor, as a surviving warrior, I know that this little girl is going to need long-time therapy. Can rehabilitation work for juvenile offenders in cases of sexual violence? And that's where I'm not sure. I don't think it works. I mean, if it's been scientifically proven that castration doesn't work, right? And this young boy has a history of repeating the same offense. He's already 17, probably going on 18 soon. Maybe if he was younger, I would say rehabilitation worked, and it would have been his first offense. But he has prior cases. So does society do enough to address the root causes of violent behavior in teens? And how can survivors of sexual assault be better supported in their recovery? That's why we have these open panels. Anybody want to come up, the link is down below. Y'all more than welcome to come and speak on any of the topics that have been talked about, any topic you want to bring up, or the next topic that we're going to bring up after this, which is going to be involving Trump and the food stamps and the outrage women are having on TikTok.
Of a 17-year-old boy this morning. Other related offenses, but a spokesperson for the district attorney's office said.
And Kelly, that suspect will remain in the juvenile justice system.
Sheba, that's right. So law enforcement sources told us today that this teen does have a history of sexual assault arrests as a juvenile. Police did say today he will be charged with rape, contact with a minor, among other related offenses. But a spokesperson for the district attorney's office said this case will remain in the juvenile system.
It's just tragic all around.
Philadelphia Police Department's Special Victims Unit announcing the arrest of a 17-year-old boy this morning for a horrific case involving a 12-year-old girl on Friday night.
At this time, it's believed that it was just a crime of opportunity.
Around 9:30 p.m., police say they got a call for an abduction at Germantown and Erie Avenues after someone stole a 2010 Ford Taurus, left running with a sleeping 12-year-old girl in the back seat.
That is crazy. So the mom seemed to have parked, ran into the state place, Max's. That's right. I was just there like, what, 3 days ago? If I'm not mistaken, I was just there. That is crazy. And then the young boy, see, this is why you can't leave nothing unattended, not even your kids, yo. If you're going to run in, don't leave your child in the car, especially with the doors locked. I know that it's right there. The car is right in front of the store. You can look out the door, but Max's be packed, yo. And that area right there be crowded. That's another area where it's nothing but fucking crackheads, drug dealers, fucking Tatianas, listen.
Girl's mother went inside Max's Steaks for a cheesesteak order. Police say the girl was raped, and about 20 minutes later, she was found at Broad Street and Roosevelt Boulevard, where she was dropped off and able to call for help on her iPad.
She was transported to the hospital for evaluation and was able to provide investigators with a detailed account of what transpired inside that vehicle. But I will say she's very smart, she's very intelligent, and she's one brave little girl.
On Monday, police say an automated license plate reader detected the vehicle in the area of 54th and Poplar Streets. Officers recovered it, executed a search warrant, and gathered evidence that was tested for DNA, and it resulted in a positive hit. Police say the victim identified the 17-year-old in a photo array, and he was arrested at his West Philadelphia home this morning.
I would love for him to be
I'm glad he
charged.
arrested.
But hours after police announced this morning he will be charged with rape, contact with a minor, and similar offenses, a spokesperson for the district attorney's office said they could not comment because this case will remain in the juvenile system. Law enforcement sources tell Fox 29 back in February.
With prior cases with the same offense, it's still going to remain. He's 17 going on 18. I've seen younger kids get charged with adult. As an adult for their first time offense. And you're telling me what the fuck is going on? Who the hell is the judge?
2023, when the now 17-year-old was just 14 years old. He was charged in connection with 6 incidents, including 5 sexual assaults in the span of a month, at least one of them caught on surveillance video. Before his arrest.
Yo, are you serious? In 1 month, when he was 14 years old, now he's 17 years old, took somebody's car with their child in it and sexually assaulted their child, and y'all telling me y'all still charging him as a juvenile? Why didn't y'all get him rehabilitation when he was 14, when he committed the serial of crimes that he committed?
This is what then SVU Captain James Kearney said about the alleged crimes.
We want to get in before this escalates to an actual rape.
What?
Now today, the SVU captain said at this time they are not looking at this 17-year-old for any other additional recent crimes, but she did say this is an active and ongoing investigation. Sheba.
Kelly, thank you for the update.
A judge is now removed.
Yo, that is crazy, man. We need to get the real life Olivia Benson out here. We need to get the real life of, where is she, yo? Like, I know she's not just on the TV show, Are violent crimes among teenagers increasing, or are they just more visible due to media coverage? How does the portrayal of sexual violence in movies and TV influence real-life cases? Does social media amplify crime stories, making them more emotionally charged? And what lessons can be learned from this tragic case like this to prevent future harm? And what's crazy, right? I feel as though parents, man, if you have minors in your cars, right? Like, you cannot leave them in the car, not even for 1 second, right? Not for 1 second, because we have nothing but creeps, freaks, pervs, and predators out here. That is all we have, yo. We have to be cautious when we have our kids out there. Like, listen, more cautious with our daughters than with our boys. Because what's crazy is that our sons are more likely to be unalive with by a bullet, and our daughters are more likely to be, how can I say it, abducted and abused. All right, so we have to be careful, right, with our kids out here in these streets. We have to have, like, that's why I say, like, me personally as a parent, I feel as though, I don't know, like, should we put tracking devices on our kids, like, to find out? Because there's times where kids go missing, right, and the government can never seem to find where these kids have been taken to. Now, once they get taken out the country, it's curtains. And I feel as though they do know where these kids are at, right? Like, hey, maybe I'm wrong, but I've done enough research. I'm like, yo, I feel as though they know where these kids be, where they take these kids to. But is it what, they don't have enough authority to get there? I mean, I don't know. Like, do they sit here and help them? You see where I'm coming from? Because, like, come on, man. Yeah. This. There's so many ways I can go about this. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to get this next video uploaded. All right, so we're about to, get into the next topic because I know nobody's watching right now. So we're hopping right into the benefits, right? The food stamps, right? Trump took our SNAP benefits, right? It says this video. Some people are abusing the system from Section 8 to EBT, turning government help into a lifestyle. But what about the ones who really need it? This video breaks down the truth about welfare, who's gaming the system, and who's getting hurt because of it, right? So shout out to this guy called Truth. Let me see. Truth Is, right? I liked his video. We're going to review and react to this video. And I would like to hear y'all comments. Your perspectives on this, right? Y'all can leave y'all comments down below for those of you catching the replay. Those of you in the chat, you're more than welcome to have a conversation. Y'all can hop on panel and give y'all perspectives real quick, if y'all wish to. All right, because after this, a shorty's going to end the live. I told y'all, man, a shorty going to be opening the panels on the weekends, right? But, I'm not going to be up here for hours by myself, all right? I'm not going to say what I got to say, and that's it. So let's get this joint started, right? Let's talk about it. What do y'all think about what Trump did with the food stamps, right? I don't think he's officially taking it away from people, right? Because here in Philly, we still got it, right? So I would like to hear y'all opinions in your comments about what's going on with the Section 8, the food stamps, and much more, right? Do y'all think that what Trump is doing is the right thing or the wrong thing? Shit, y'all already, listen, a lot of people want it. Trump this, Trump that. Now everybody is crying, right? Should SNAP benefits be reformed to prevent fraud, or does tightening restrictions harm those in need? Does cutting government assistance programs truly reduce dependency, or does it create more hardship? All right, I want y'all to keep these questions in mind as we watching the videos, right? How does political leadership shape the future of welfare programs? And should there be stricter eligibility requirements for programs like Section 8 and EBT, right? And I feel as though, right, the supplemental incomes should be there for those who need it. For those that don't have no type of mental health issues or any type of I'm so sorry, or any type of disability, right? You should be able to get your asses up and work after you've been here dependent on a welfare for a year or 2, 3 years, right? I feel as though y'all need to get your asses up, go find a job or get help. Because here in Philly, they got something called Career Link, right? And in these places, the welfare will give you a referral. You can go there and they will help you get a job. And especially those with disability, they've helped so many people with disabilities get jobs too, that is not even a joke. So for those out there that are saying, oh, I can't get a job, you're making excuses. Because listen, even if it's something small, start off with that until you're able to find something that's better. But something is something and you're bringing in income. I feel as though that a lot of people are making so many excuses, right? And those that are, that need the supplemental income can't get it. So let's listen to what these females are saying. And I think there's only females in this video because I scrolled. I went through it a little, but I haven't seen one guy yet. The men are not speaking up on this. It's only women. Like, what's up?
The welfare fraud department of my county just left my house.
So I went grocery.
Wait a minute. What? She said the welfare fraud department of her county just left her house. They pay visits to your house? What the fuck? Oh shit.
Shopping today, and for the first time ever,
just left my house.
So I went grocery shopping today, and for the first time ever, I had to use my debit card instead of my EBT card.
Once again, we're diving down that TikTok rabbit hole, and this video is about the Section 8 queens.
She's at the Section 8 queens, but wait a minute. This chick just said I had to use my credit card once again. Are you working?
The people who are taking advantage of the system, but also there are people who do need the help and who are not taking advantage of the system and actually need their EDT cards, their SNAP benefits, and housing. Let me know what you think.
And everyone is calling us bums because we don't work and we live off the government, and we are proud of that.
What?
Up, this is what we were taught.
Hold up. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Did I hear her? Listen, if y'all catch the replay and y'all make it this far, let us shorty know what y'all think.
Let me know what you think.
And everyone is calling us bums because we don't work and we live off the government, and we are proud of that.
So you're proud that everybody is calling you a bum, that you don't work and you live off the government. See, you're one of those chicks, right, that make it seem like, all right, I don't need a man. But what happens when the government divorces you? When he decides not to be your zaddy? See, like, this is what I was talking about. Look, listen, for the past couple of years, I've been saying, I'm sitting here, I was like, yo, how you calling him a deadbeat, right? Look in the mirror. See where I'm coming from? How you calling him a deadbeat if you're the reason why he can't be in his child's life? I'm sitting here like, you saying this and you saying that, but you're dependent off the goddamn government. What's going to happen if they cut that check off? And you don't have no plan B.
Growing up, this is what we were taught. We were taught to not have to work. We were taught to live off the government because it is there for us to use. And from what I could remember, it all started back with my grandparents. My grandparents used to get the paper, like the paper coupons to go and pay for, food and stuff like that. And that's when
I'm dead. I barely remember the food stamps books, but I remember the food stamp books, all right? I barely remember it because I think they stopped using the food stamp books when I was like maybe 6 years old, probably around there. After that, they started giving out the little cards to the parents. So, but she said we was taught all this. I wasn't taught all this. You see where I'm coming from? I had family that depended on government assistance. I had people around me that depended on government assistance. And I was always told, I don't want you to depend on this. I want you to get a job. I want you to graduate. I want you to get a car. Like, if you graduate, I'll help you get a car. They was motivating me not to sit here and depend off the government. It was the complete opposite. But I did grow up seeing, right, how other families that used to say, well, I get SSI, this and that. And as time passed on, I seen how a lot of moms would be like, my child is this. Now that I'm older, I'm like, wait, you self-diagnose? I'm thinking they self-diagnosing their kids just to get SSI or to get welfare. And I'm looking at this shit like it's fucked up. And I'm seeing it more and more now. And I don't know if it's because social media, and I think it is, but I don't know, because they used to talk about it back then. But I think now we can actually see it through social media compared to just hearing it. But this chick is basically talking about making this a generational wealth. So basically, depending on generational welfare is what she wants to leave behind as generational wealth for her kids. And they're two different things. Is she confusing them?
When I was like, this is free money. Like, what? So living...
It's free money for those that need it. It's to help you get on your feet. Not to just sit here and say, well, I'm going to live off this the rest of my life. That's like living off an allowance from your parents on some real shit. Especially if you was a grown-ass person with some kids.
Off of EBT is literally a tradition in our family. Once my grandparents passed away, my mom started, applying, and she got approved for all 6 of us kids. And then, once my sister got older, she had her first child. She applied for food stamps, and she got,
Damn.
It was just like,
It's a family of supplemental income. I'm gonna make a shirt like that. It's a family of, in the back, supplemental income. I might put it in the front. What? Damn. No, there's no way in hell.
A domino effect. One after another, we all got approved for EBT. And guess what? It's not going to stop there. Why? Because I have taught my children, and I'm going to be teaching my grandchildren that they should do the same thing. They don't have to work. They could just have children, put themselves on EBT, get...
Nah, shorty. Shorty. Now I agree with the people. You's a fucking bum. Now I agree with the people, and I don't give a fuck who gets mad. You's a bum. Nah. You living free off the government forever and ever and ever. No.
Child support, all of that I do so I don't have to work, they could do it themselves too.
Are you guys happy? Are you guys happy? I get a knock at my door. I open the door, and of course there's 3 people in, nice work clothes, whatever. I thought it was CPS.
Hold the fuck. Wait a minute. I had to read this comment. I had to read her little caption up there. The welfare fraud department just left my house. Are y'all happy now? I'm headed to jail. See you guys in a few years. So you committed welfare fraud. They left your house. I guess, I don't know, giving you a warning, because I guess if they left your house, you would have been arrested. But see, what was you online, self-snitching on yourself, saying you were selling your food stamps or buying food stamps, or I don't know, some shit like that? OMG. How does political leadership shape the future of welfare programs? Should there be stricter eligibility requirements for programs like Section 8 and EBT? Once again.
Okay, big surprise there. No. It's the welfare fraud department. I didn't even know there was a welfare fraud department.
I'm dead.
Okay, so with everything that I have going on with my food stamps and everything, they are going to be tracking every single paper trail that I have had attached to my name for the last 10 years.
Holy shit. She got the feds on her ass.
They are going to be digging up everything.
What happened? It went black on y'all. I'm sorry.
I am possibly
I don't know why I did that.
be digging up my name for the last 10 years. They are going to be digging up everything.
I gotta hear what she said completely. Like, wait a minute, shorty. What?
Track. Okay, so with everything that I have going on with my food stamps and everything, they are going to be tracking every single paper trail that I have had attached to my name for the last 10 years.
That's your fault.
They are going to be digging up everything.
That's your fault.
I'm possibly facing criminal charges for this. This is not just something where they take your food stamps, you know, for a couple weeks or no. This is actually criminal. So I hope you guys are happy.
It was honestly a humbling experience.
So is she blaming people for her about to get arrested, about to get Fed charges because she was sitting here committing welfare fraud? That's not the people's fault. That's your fault. You can't blame nobody else but yourself.
So I hope you guys are happy.
It was honestly a humbling experience. You know how hard it was to actually have to pay attention to the prices? What was new to me as well was having to actually look at the prices. So before, I used to be able to just grab shit and throw it in the cart, random shit, things that I need, things that I don't need, I just throw it in the cart. But now I have to actually pay attention to the prices. And I honestly didn't realize how expensive it was. Budgeting really sucks.
That's because you never was taught how to budget and you're too busy trying to, you know, transfer generational welfare instead of generational wealth to your kids.
So now, instead of being able to buy cookies and chips and candy and sodas, now I actually have to buy food. I can't be buying snacks anymore. No more name brand stuff. Everything has to be great value. You want to know how much these were? $1.98. No more Doritos, no more Fritos, no more, none of that.
I bet you were spoiled.
But like I said, very, very humbling experience. You know? Now I gotta get used to budgeting and buying things that I actually need.
It's been 7 days.
Wait a minute. She just said, now I got to get used to budgeting and buying things that I actually need. So you were buying things that you didn't need all the way. It wasn't a 50-50 thing. Yo, these people is out of pocket. They really come online and say these things like, yo, do y'all know how y'all sound?
Budgeting and buying things that I actually need.
It's been 7 days since I lost my food stamps. So I have not been able to afford groceries. I did get my cash assistance for this month. Section 8 didn't pay my rent yesterday. So now I have to come up with $1,100 that I don't have. Okay. $1,100. Where am I going to come up with that? I don't have a job. I'm not looking for a job. I'm not going.
Where am I going to come up with $1,100? I don't have a job. I'm not looking for a job. But you want the welfare to give you back some cash and some food stamps and Section 8 to pay for your housing. But you don't have a job. You're not even helping Section 8 put in the rest of the rent. Because, you know, Section 8 is there, right? They pay a portion of the rent, but you're supposed to pay the rest. No wonder Section 8 is not paying your rent. Because you're not even abiding by the rules. Yo, this is, you know, shout out to Mel Dub. Mel Dub did a live. I'm not sure if it was yesterday, I think, or the day before yesterday, right? And he said it in his live, right? Our generation set our kids up. We are the ones that raised our kids to do these things. And you hear it in these videos, how a lot of these women admit to doing these things.
Going to get a job. I've never had a job. I'm not going to do it now, okay? I have been on welfare benefits for 13 years.
God damn.
And now they decide they want to put a time limit on this. It has been 13 years that I have received almost $10,000 a month in benefits.
13 years she was receiving $10,000 a month in benefits? How did she manage that? How many kids you got?
And now you expect me to just get up and find that $10,000 somewhere else. I have 6 mouths to feed.
Oh,
6 mouths.
That's why.
It has been a week. I have not been able to put food in this house.
So the government is feeding her 6 kids and her. That's how she's getting the $10,000 a month. She's probably getting SSI, food stamps, and cash. That's crazy. See, you really taking advantage of this shit.
I now have to come up with rent. Yes, I got my nails done today. Yes, I got my eyelashes done today. Yes, I got my eyebrows done today. Okay, because just because I can't pay my bills does not mean I have to go around looking like a bum. So yes, I did get my nails done. Sue me.
You can't pay your bills, but you got your nails done. How in the world did you get your nails done, but you couldn't pay your bills? But you tripping. And you expect to get wiped up like that? Oh, hell no.
Okay, sue me. $1,100 is a lot different than $80.
With this confession, they could charge you with fucking federal charges, dumbass.
Okay, I had $80 to get my nails and everything else done. I don't have $1,100.
Well, the $80 could have went at least towards food or at least one bill. Stupid.
I have over $200,000 on my main account, and I can't get one person to help me. Not one person. When it is your responsibility as a taxpayer to support me and my children.
Yo, she ain't tripping. She said it's our responsibility as taxpayers to support her and her children, but you should have never popped them kids out. You should have kept your legs closed, put a chastity belt on. Where your baby daddy at?
Where you at?
Where he at?
Y'all know what nobody can do? Like, nobody can make me feel bad or ashamed about my public housing. Like, because one thing about it, it's like, if everybody could be on Section 8, everybody would be on it with no problem. It wouldn't be no problem if everybody could get approved for it. But because only certain people get approved for it, now y'all just acting like, but one thing about it, you bitches will never make me feel bad because I don't give no fucks. I'm still in the motherfucking house. I'm still in the motherfucking house. You feel me? So it's just like, and then the thing is, like, at the end of the day, all these houses, Section 8, they all go off of your income, okay? So, you feel me? Like, y'all working, you know, like nice jobs and stuff like that. Even, all right, boom. Say if you making $15, $16 an hour, you're not going to go out here and apply for no apartment that's $3,000, $4,000 a month. You feel me? It just doesn't make any sense. So, when we get on these programs and they're going off of our income, like some people, you know, have jobs and stuff, they go off of your income. So depending on how much you make at that job, that's how much they're going to base your rent on. Like, you know? So
that's my whole point. They pay half your rent and everything. So within a couple of years, you should be able to at least have some money stacked up, racked up for you to have your own place. At least own your own place so that the next motherfucker can come in and move to that place and do the same thing. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm seeing things fucked up. I don't know. Like I tell people, man, I don't know. I wasn't just born in the wrong generation. There was a cosmic confusion in my mother's womb.
So, yeah, it just varies for for different people. So I just don't understand, like, how you mad that somebody is paying rent that they can afford. Like, that's what they can afford at the moment. And my whole thing.
No, paying rent that you could afford means, all right, you get this much every week or bi-weekly or monthly, right? It means that, all right, you know that, how can I say, you got to look for a place where your that is lower than your income so that you could have something left behind so you could at least get groceries, you know. So whatever it is that you need on a daily basis, you see where I'm coming from? That's affordable. That's something that you could afford. But they're helping you pay half the rent, which means you cannot afford this rent.
Is with me, I know you can't make me feel bad because this is not my end goal. Like, I know I want so much more for myself and I'm going to get that, but in my time,
The good thing about having Section 8 is it does
She wasn't
go
that bad.
with your income. So if your income is up here, you know, you pay some rent, you just don't pay the market rent. If your income is down here, then you pay a smaller amount of rent But still, it's the income that matters. So if you qualify for the lowest income, that means your income is that low that you don't have to pay regular rent. You'll qualify as low income. So what that means is, obviously, if your rent is that low that you don't have to pay rent, that means you don't have enough money to pay your bills either. Your other bills that you might have, which
I just
is
explained
that's
how
the
you do
hard
that.
part about
It's, for
being
example, if you're
low
making
income.
1,500 a week, right, and you see that there's a place for rent for 800. No, I can't get that one, so I'm gonna go for at least 500 or 600, right? Which means that I'm now downgrading from a house to an apartment, but I'm gonna have to do that because now I have to budget everything. Now I get on the programs for the bills. You see where I'm coming from? I get on the programs. They got LIHEAP, they got CAP, they got all these things for the bills, right? I put these I put the bills on these programs, right? Now, whatever is left over after I get everything I need for the month is what I need to stack up. Now I keep working and making that money and I keep stacking up. The bills are due again. Now pay these bills, pay my rent. See where I'm coming from? Like, you have to learn how to budget while you're working. If you have to get 2 jobs, get the 2 jobs. These kids ain't asked to be here. You see, you opened up your legs. You sat here and let a car park his, let a man park his car in your garage. So it's like, as a woman, it's your responsibility, especially if you want to sit here and depend on the welfare and not have the baby daddy in your life. There's so many ways I can go about this. But us women need to do better. This is why they're making us look the way that. And it's unfortunate they look at women that do this before they look at a woman that, thinks the way that I do. And other women that are similar, like-minded like me. I feel as though that a supplemental income is not something to live off forever unless you're really disabled or have a mental disability. Other than that, get your ass up and go to work. Y'all online admitting that y'all getting this free money like it's cute. Then some of y'all talking about turning generational welfare into generational wealth. Is y'all serious? Man, get the fuck out my face with this bullshit.
You don't have enough income to actually live. But if you do, your income is up here and you're paying rent, your income is still not above the low income mark, which disqualifies you from being low income or Section 8. So it's up here, but it's not above. And when it's up here, that means, okay, you have enough now that you can pay your rent. You might not be able to pay your other bills, but you at least can pay rent. That's what that is. And that's where a lot of people are. They have enough money just to pay their living expenses, to pay their rent, maybe their lights, maybe a little phone bill, maybe a little car note, I don't know. But after that, that's it. That's it. So I really wish people
Let me see.
would stop saying like, oh, you're on Section 8, it must be nice to live free. It's not free.
Oh, she right on that. It's not free. I agree with her on that part. It's not free. It's not free, but people take advantage of it.
My little check, once the bills is paid, ain't nothing left. It ain't much left. So am I appreciative of it? Yeah. Do I wish I had more income to disqualify me from being low income? Yes, I do.
You can. Here's the problem with a lot of y'all women, right? Because y'all know that y'all will get all this income through supplemental income through the government, right? But the only way that you can get this income is by denying the baby daddy. And some of y'all get a little too, I don't know, sophisticated with it, thinking that y'all above a lot of shit. And it's like, fuck this nigga. Like, I don't need this nigga. I'm independent type shit. And yeah, we're going to talk about it. Unfiltered conversations. Like I told y'all, man, the link is down below for anybody that wishes to come up and, give their perspective on what, while a shorty up here, But shit, hey, let's talk about it. What is going on? Why do a lot of these women feel so comfortable, right, in talking about that they're going to turn generational welfare into generational wealth for their kids? This is not the way to go, boo-boo. Oh, wait. Oh, damn. I'm glad I looked at my phone, man. We got the OG in the building. Big shout out to Gary Bust It Down Brown, right? Let me see, guys. Make sure y'all go check out Gary Bust It Down Brown, right? He says, how much of this do we think is of the independent mindset is involved? I don't know. It's learned behavior. And now a lot of women are out here talking about I'm independent. But is you really independent when you're dependent off the government? What happens when the government, aka your zaddy, divorces you and says, I will not give you this allowance every month? Did we freeze up? Hold on, guys. I think I'm frozen. Give me 1 second. I'm going to have to reload this. All right. I don't think I'm frozen anymore. So let's see. All right. I see myself moving on the phone now. So I'm like, oh, I'm reading Gary's comment, but I'm like, wait, am I frozen? But that is a good question that Gary asked. Let me see. There you go. So for those of you wondering, that's the question that Gary Bust It Down Brown asked, right, guys? Those of you that watching, make sure y'all go check out Gary Bust It Down Brown. Great conversations, great topics, man, and you won't be disappointed, yo. All right, so here we go. Let's listen to a little more what they got to say before we press play, right? How does political leadership, my bad. I was about to read the same question. Does government assistance encourage financial stability, or does it create long-term dependency? And it seems that in a lot of situations, it's creating long-term dependency, right? But the problem with this is, right, does cutting government assistance programs truly reduce dependency, or does it create more hardship, right? And I feel as though, right, it creates more hardship for those that does really depend on it, those that really do need it, those that suffer from mental health issues or disabilities. Right, and that's my opinion, right? How do cuts to SNAP benefits affect low-income families and children? And are people abusing the system, or is it the participation of fraud exaggerated? My bad. Or is the participation of fraud exaggerated? And it's gonna. I know a lot of women are about to hate me for this, but the participation of fraud is not exaggerated. There are people abusing the system, which makes it harder for those that do need it to not be seen and noticed. Should there be more oversight to ensure benefits go to those who truly need them? And I feel as though, yes. Gary says, you are so independent that you are dependent. That's some real shit right there, Gary. But let's continue to listen.
That way, my income be up here. That means I could pay my rent and all my bills and not be low income.
But to not be low income. But you are lit.
Like, I'm low income.
Exactly. You are low income. But because housing and all that is helping you, you're not considered low income. Let me tell you a little secret about housing, right? Yes, you get help during housing with your rent and all that, right? but it's a little harder to get into all these programs with the bills. It's a little harder because you're receiving assistance from housing. So I would prefer to either own my house, rent my house, and receive programs, right? Like LIHEAP, CAP, and all that to help me with my bills, right? So that I can still maintain my house, do what I got to do, but I'm not dependent completely off the government. They're assisting me. You see where I'm coming from? Like, for example, I inherited a property from my mother. And there was 5 of us. One of them is deceased now, right? So now it's 4 of them. I'm the one that's still in charge. And it's now, because of helping everybody, I got to sit here and be in this property. So I was like, you know what? I've been so prideful this whole time. My ego's been in the way, right? I said, screw it. I'm going to take the assistance. I went and I applied for TAP. I went and applied for LIHEAP. And I went and applied for CAP because as my mother's daughter, right, as the person that inherited everything, right, even with the gas, right, as a family, right, because I'm her family, all her debts transferred to me. So I got to lower these bills. You see where I'm coming from? So I'm going to take the assistance, right, while I'm getting on my feet and then get off that shit. Because now I don't need you no more. Let the next motherfucker help, because what people don't understand that these programs are funded. Once they run out of funds, right, you get no more help. Same thing with Section 8 housing and all that. That's why I say that y'all should take advantage of it, yes, but in a way that where, all right, they're helping you right now, start saving your bread, own your own house. They even got programs through Section 8 houses where you can rent to own. You just got to keep up with the rent. You got to keep up with the bills. Hey, but maybe I'm wrong. Do people think that help is dependence? People think that help is independence. Real shit, Gary. I swear to God, I'm starting to think that. I'm starting to think that people think that help is not is independence. Like they don't see it as being dependent. They see it as being independent. Like, in order for you to be independent, you cannot receive any type of support, help from anybody, from anywhere. You have to be able to do this yourself. But maybe I'm wrong. Once again.
Real low. And one day that's going to change, but right now, it's low. It's low. I got to get ready for work right now.
There seems to be a lot of people who need these benefits and actually could benefit from Section 8. However, there have been some shameless people online promoting that they're getting Section 8 and they're making more money than people who actually go to work. And I think that's the problem that people have. These benefits should go to people who really and truly need it.
Yes.
And that's what the Trump administration is trying to crack down on.
So I'm a low-income girly. I've been on food stamps on and off for the better part of like 6 years. I moved out of my parents' house when I was 20, so I'm 26 now. So I've been on food stamps for about that long. Tell me why. I just got this fucking letter in the mail, and I haven't been on food stamps for about 6 months because I got a new job like 5-6 months ago and I knew I wasn't gonna qualify. Tell me why I got this fucking letter saying that I owe food stamps $2,095. What the fuck? They also don't give any options for like payment plans on here, or they didn't tell me why. They were just like, oh, just pay this balance.
Oh, they're gonna take that off your income taxes. Listen. For those of you wondering, right, if you don't pay this, right, and if you're still walking, the reason you're free and not behind bars is because they're going to get their money. You're working. And when you get your income taxes, right, guess what? You're not going to get all of it. They're going to get their money because, believe it or not, this is a federal charge. One way or another, they're going to get your money. They know you working, so fuck, let them work, let them do what they got to do. So when they get their income taxes, and you'll be like, I only got a portion, I only got a half. Yeah, because you owe the government. You didn't know that? When you owe taxes, when you owe the welfare, when you owe the SSI, guess what happens? When you're working, right? They take it from your income taxes. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all don't see what y'all doing to yourselves. This is why I always say that I do not want to be a guinea pig to the system. People be like, oh, why you say that? Because once you are there, they own you. I keep telling everybody, I can't wait for my back to fully fucking recover so I don't got to deal with them. Oh, Ray, no. I don't know how people fucking do it. I really don't. I prefer to work and get paid every week or bi-weekly than to sit here and wait for fucking Zaddy to give me some fucking money. No, I can't. I can't do it. I cannot do it. It's been a year and I quit on being lazy. So I don't know how motherfuckers want to keep being lazy. I can't do this shit, yo. I cannot do it. Help is temporary assistance given to someone for a specific situation, while dependence is a long-term reliance and another person for basic needs or support. So this is meaning that people have turned help into dependency. Facts. I appreciate brother. I was gonna say brother Gary. Rachel, chill. You're not in the hood. I appreciate Gary for that, yo, big bro. I don't know why the professional side was about to come out for Gary just now. But Ray, keep the hood in you real quick. It's needed. Do not get professional. I half the people don't understand big words.
Or it's going to get taken out of your next year's tax return. Bitch, the fuck? And the letter came from the collection agency, the government collection agency of food stamps. Like, they have their own collection agency. Also, how evil do you have to be to work that job? Like, I just want to know. Like, most people who have food stamps are not, like, well off enough to eat.
Lady, do you know that you can get food stamps while you're working? Because a lot of people don't have a high income when they're working. Some people get paid $300, $400 a week. Some people get paid that bi-weekly. And guess what do they get? Government assistance, because they don't get paid that much. And like the lady prior to was saying, yes, that's, it's beneficial for certain people that are working, right? But then that means, all right, this is the time. The government is helping you. Go out, look for a better job. One that pays you more. One that'll help you get a house that you could own. And you don't got to depend on them no more. I mean, we just got to start thinking different. The way that they got our minds, the way that we got our minds. It's like we're dependent on them. But we could do this ourselves. We just need to get off our mama's couch and pop the nipple out. Like, for real. Either you drinking a beer or you fucking drinking a sippy cup. Which one is it? Or you still drinking milk out of your mama's titty? The fuck? Make up your mind. You want to drink a beer or you want your mama's titty? Which one is it? You want your mama's hand or you want to smoke a joint? The fuck? And I'm not recommending anybody to get drunk or high. All right? It was just a metaphor. But some people, some people in the back don't understand that, all right? I've been called Brother Gary. It's okay. Gary Bunny.
Even be paying $2,000. Like, most of them don't have $2,000 in their bank account. I know I sure as hell don't. Like, since when did food stamps become a loaning service? Since when do I have to pay this shit back? Like, I'm thinking about it and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way that I've gotten that much in food stamps. Sorry, my ring light died.
See, the problem is that you lied to them. You were telling them that you were getting probably this much amount, right, in income, when in reality you was probably getting more. And they found out what you was getting. So now they're saying that they overpaid you. So now you have to pay them back. Whether you like it or not, you owe them. Because it goes by your income.
They're making me pay back like the whole thing with almost no explanation. And like, they were supposed to apparently send me a letter, because I looked at this up on Reddit to see if it had happened to anyone else. They were supposed to send me a letter about a hearing and all this stuff where I could appeal this. I didn't get any of that shit. I didn't get any of that in the mail. So I don't know what the fuck is going on. And before I even want to say shit, no, I did not falsify anything on my food stamps applications. I gave all my information to them. Obviously, I didn't, once I was done with my food stamps and couldn't qualify for them anymore, obviously I wasn't telling them about like the jobs I was working then, but I was done with the program. But like, while I was on food stamps, I reported all my income. I did everything right. So yeah, I'm fucking livid right now, obviously.
The Trump administration just canceled 20 semi-trucks worth of food going to the Cleveland Food Bank to feed hungry, working, starving Americans and children. I haven't talked about that turd on my channel in a while because I know people see it that
What
love that
turd?
turd, but this is a turd move. Would you agree?
Trump? Oh
Taking
shit.
food that's already going to rot away from people that actually need it. Can we all collectively agree this is bullshit? Okay, thanks.
I'm on food stamps because I genuinely need them, and my renewal was in January. Last month they asked me to submit supporting documents, and I did 3 separate times through the online portal and
That
directly
online portal
to
shit don't
the
work.
supervisor's email. And last Friday I was called and told that they needed me.
For those of you that really need food stamps or cash assistance, man, that online portal shit don't work. Make sure you fill out your renewals and take them in person and put them in the Dropbox. They will get them faster.
To redo the supporting documentation and submit different things, and that they were due that day. On Monday, I called, confirmed that they had received the documents, and was told that they were continuing to work my case. And now here it is Friday, and I just got off the phone with the customer care division, who informed me that they had closed my case because of the fact that they needed supporting documents. The exact ones that I had emailed on Friday and was told Monday they had received. And when I tried to tell the woman this, she told me I could speak to the supervisor or reapply. So I asked to speak to the supervisor, which is something I've never done. And of course it went to voicemail. What would the point be in me reapplying if it's just going to go to the exact same people? I try really hard to maintain perspective and understanding of the fact that things could be a lot worse. And I am lucky that in spite of our dwindling food supply, I do still have something to feed my children. But I am really frustrated right now. And the one time I need them more than ever is the time that all of this happens. It's just, I'm just really upset and frustrated.
I want to say this, right? And maybe I'm wrong for saying this, right? We're in 2025, right? And the way things are, I feel as though a lot of people need to reconsider about, having kids. When you're sitting here having sex with whoever you're having sex with, right? Make sure you strap something on, man. Like, you protect yourself. Like, listen, there's different ways to protect yourself from having a child. But I feel as though that a lot of people, before they have kids, they should have a stable income. They should have a home, right? And at least enough money to get them around, to have transportation, get on the bus or something like that, right? A bike, own a couple bikes or something. You and your kids can go bike riding. Shit, both of y'all get on a bike while transport them to school, pick them up from school. All of y'all can go bike riding. I don't know. But I feel as though that, like, before people keep having kids, y'all need to think about it, because this supplemental income is going to come to an end, and not just for y'all, but for people that really do need it too. Right now it's starting off like this, and what's crazy is, what y'all don't realize is that this has been talked about for years. It's just that social media right now and what's going on is making it seeable for us to see it, right? And now a lot of people going crazy, man. Our generation, right, is responsible for the way that this generation is growing up. And I've always said that. Like, people get mad when I say that, like, oh no, it's not my fault. Y'all keep pointing the blame at others, right? But what y'all fail to realize is that when you're pointing a finger back, there's always 3 pointing back at you. Like, we need to stop sitting here and pinpointing the blame on others and start taking accountabilities for our mistakes, for our actions, right? Fix our own homes, fix the problems that we have with our own kids before we sit here and try to invest ourselves in other people's lives, trying to tell other people how to fix their life when some people can't even sit here and fix their own. So that's one of the biggest issues that we're having out here too. Is accountability. and we're passing it on. We're passing on, not taking accountability like we should be passing on what general wealth should be. My bad. I apologize for that.
And sad because I literally have done everything that they've asked of me repeatedly over and over and over again, and now I'm sitting here being told that I have to redo everything just because they told me that they had 30 days to get everything done, and when that 30-day mark hit and they weren't done with it, they just closed my case instead of telling me anything. Oh well, it is what it is. It just sucks.
Went to the grocery store and I ended up having to pay $50 out of pocket. So I'm telling her like that I have to call the food stamp people and tell them that they're not giving me enough money. So she asked me how much are they giving me. I said $500. And she gonna hang up on me talking about they ain't giving you shit else because you got an infant. I don't care if I have an infant. $500 is not enough. I'm running out of food stamps within 2 weeks of me getting.
Get a job. Why do y'all keep popping these kids out without fucking income? It costs money to take care of a child. It costs money to take care of yourself. Well, what makes you think that it's not going to cost you to take care of a child? See, y'all keep thinking that y'all going to keep popping kids out just to get an income. And that right there is going to stop. Because y'all come on social media and air y'all dirty laundry out like it's a fucking novella. Like it's a crime on Action News. Y'all come on social media and pillow talk your whole life out to people, complete strangers. And then try to figure out, damn, why they doing this? How they know we doing this? Well, you on social media doing that. The fuck?
In it. $500 is not enough. They have to go up. Because the cost of food has went up. The cost of groceries has went up. So sis gonna hang up on me like, girl, you know I call you for everything. Don't do that to me like that. They need to give me at least $1,000.
It's been 6 days since my food stamps were taken. Almost $10,000 a month in welfare benefits that I no longer have. My caseworker just
$10,000 a month. She was getting $10,000 a month. Joe, I don't know nobody in my community that gets that much. I don't know where she's at and how she's getting $10K a month. Like, that is crazy. I don't know nobody in my community that gets that much unless they've got like 20 kids.
just called me. On top of losing everything and possibly, well, very likely not getting any of it back, I now have to pay back over $22,000 in welfare benefits.
Damn.
So now they're going to be garnishing our disability and my child support that I receive for my kids.
Oh shit,
So
they took her
now-
child support away from her?
I don't know how I'm going to feed my kids. I don't know how I'm going to pay rent tomorrow. $1,100 I have to come up with. $1,100 on top of not being able to buy groceries because my food stamps are gone.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait, the government was fully supporting her on all. She was living in luxury. She wasn't living in a regular apartment or a regular house. Like, what the? Wait a minute. This bitch was getting 10K. 10K. And she's complaining about paying $1,100 for rent. You chose that. So now it's your responsibility that Zaddy divorced you to pay that. You don't have daddy in your life no more because you grew up and then, had Zaddy. Now Zaddy is gone. Go find your baby daddy, get a job, and pay your bills. The fuck wrong with you? It's not the government's fault. You decided to sit here and be freaky. It's not the government's fault. You wanted to be a baby factory to get money. Stop using your kids as a tool.
This is not okay. This is not okay. I have 6 children I have to support.
No, fuck out of here. 10,000K. You received 10K in a month with only 6. No. I know people out here, and the most they've gotten with 6 kids is like 3,000, 4,000 the most. You're talking about 10K, bitch, including child support. How the fuck did welfare give you 10K including your child? I know I didn't mishear this bitch wrong. Wait a minute.
Stamps were taken. Almost $10,000 a month in welfare benefits that I no longer have. My caseworker just called me. On top of losing everything and possibly, well, very likely not getting any of it back, I now have to pay back over $22,000 in welfare benefits.
That's your fault.
So now they're going to be garnishing our disability and my child support
That's
that I
committed
receive
fraud
for my kids. So now I don't know how I'm going to feed my kids. I don't know how I'm going to pay rent tomorrow. $1,100 I have to come up with.
Yo, I can't. So these bitches, right? They sit here, they commit fraud, they use they sit here and they pop kids out, use these kids as tools against the government, whatever man they're with, right? And now they're complaining because they got caught committing fraud. Am I tripping?
$1,100 on top of not being able to buy groceries because my food stamps are gone. This is not okay. This is not okay. I have 6 children I have to support. 6.
The shoe popped out.
Do you guys understand what this is doing to me? This is the taxpayer's responsibility.
No, the fuck is
not. That's why
not.
you pay taxes.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Bitch, stop. Yo. I cannot say what I really want to. You deserve this. This is your fault. Okay? I promised I was going to be nice. Yo, this little Tatiana out here really saying that it's the taxpayer's responsibility to sit here and support the 6 kids that she decided to make and pop out. Bitch, where the fuck your baby daddy at? Why he not working and giving you this bread? We know you got a nigga on the low, probably a side piece somewhere. I'm sorry, this bitch just pissed me off. No, she didn't. This a fucking Karen for real.
To support families like myself. And I can't get any help. No, I have reached out to every single resource that my county has. None of them have funding. So now what do?
Get a job.
I don't know what to do. I can't get a job. I'm not getting a job.
Why? Why are you not getting a job?
So if I get a job, I can get.
Why can't you get a job, lady? Why? Why can't you get a job?
Feed my kids. I don't know how I'm going to pay rent tomorrow. $1,100 I have to come up with.
Get a job.
$1,100 on top of not being able to buy groceries because my food stamps are gone.
For real? You want me to feel bad for that?
This is not okay. This is not okay. I have 6 children I have to support.
Get a job.
6. Do you understand? Do you guys understand what this is doing to me?
Do you understand that you're a bum? Do you understand that you ain't shit? Get a fucking job and be a mother. And this is why I call some women Lilith in disguise. Y'all ain't shit. Oh shit, we got the beautiful Lisby in the building, guys. Make sure y'all go check her out. Right? Great conversations, great topics, y'all. Man, yo. Like, this is crazy.
This is the taxpayer's responsibility. That's why you pay taxes.
No, it's not.
To support families like myself.
Our taxes are supposed to be going into, you know, the education, our communities, and a few other things, right? Forgot what it was. But, you know, and you know, for a lot of things. But it sure is not to support you and families like you. Oh, taxes going to the schools, right? Did I say schools? Listen, we'll get into that right now because I know I have a little list on what our taxes is, because I was reading into our rights, you know, the amendment. I mean, listen, I was looking into all that shit. So I had wrote down what the taxes are really supposed to be going into, which they're really not. The schools is one of them. You see where I'm coming from? Housing is one of them. But to support you? Nah, bitch. Nah, get the fuck out my face with that bullshit lie.
And I can't get any help. No, I have reached out to every single resource that my county has. None of them have funding. So now what do I do?
The workers are tired.
I don't know what to do. And I can't get a job. I'm not getting a job.
So if I
get a job, like the taxpayers, get a job. They work, right? They pay taxes. You can do the same shit.
And I can't get a job. I'm not getting a job.
I'm not getting a job. And
so if I get a job, I can get food stamps. But if I don't get a job, they cut my food stamps. But if I get a job, they're going to cut my food stamps anyway. How does that work?
Will never convince me that a single mom.
Oh, I can answer your question, sir. Hold on.
So now what do I do?
Get a job, bitch.
I don't know what to do. And I can't get a job. I'm not getting a job.
Get a job, pendeja.
So if I get a job, I can get food stamps. But if I don't get a job, they cut my food stamps. But if I get a job, they're going to cut my food stamps anyway.
How does that work is what he's about to say. Well, basically, right, what you're supposed to be doing is, right, all right, people with disabilities are the ones that get the food stamps, right, without having to work. But if you're working and you're receiving low income while working, which means that you're not getting, you know, a lot of money while you're working. See, other people could be working and getting at least, you know, $1,000 a week, or 1,000 and some change every 2 weeks, or 2,000 every 2 weeks. You see where I'm coming from? But some people receive sometimes like $400 or $500, right? $600, maybe $900 every week or bi-weekly, right? But it doesn't go past the 1,000 rack. They qualify. If your income is under $1,000, you qualify to get food stamps. You get a certain amount of food stamps every month to help you and your family. But you're working. You see where I'm coming from? But there's people out here, right, that are not working and they're getting cash and food stamps, which I think is crazy and shout out. Like, go to work. Now they're making it to the point where they're going to help those families, right, that are working and making a certain amount of income get food stamps. They started off with the programs where people, you know, had to go to the programs. If you went to these programs and you attended them, then you got food stamps and cash. If you didn't go, then you didn't get shit. I mean, I feel as though I see certain people trying to help, but then I see others that are like, nah, man, I just want to keep dependent. Well, if you want to keep doing that, you're not helping those that want to help. At the end of the day, you're, you know, pushing away those that are willing to do something. But that's how it is.
How does that work?
Will never convince me that a single mom who needs food stamps, which isn't very much, most of the time they still need help to make it through the month, is the reason that our country is poor. When there's 4 men that have most of the money in our country.
What?
But
what is she talking about?
Let's cut food stamps, because that makes sense. So if you're a single mom, tell me, do you get food stamps? And if you do, how much do you get a month? Does it last you the month? How many kids do you have? Tell me. How did you become a single mom? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fact that men marry women, sell them this future, and then
Let's talk about the fact that we're in 2025, and the last time I heard about marriage was in the fucking 90s, in the early 2000s. Somewhere along the line in the mid 2000s, right? I'm gonna say around 2014, 2015, maybe, I don't know. Somewhere along the line, right, that marriage where it didn't exist. Now you got more mamas out here with all these babies and baby daddies out the pictures. We got daddies that are called deadbeats, that are called bums, that are called they ain't shit. You see where I'm coming from? Meanwhile, you do got some baby daddies that are, the shit, that are great fathers, that want to be a part of their kids' fathers, but are not able to be a part of their kids' life. My bad. I said all that. I hope y'all understood. My bad, because this bitch got me discombobulated real quick. Hold on. Like, what world is she in?
a single mom who needs food stamps, which isn't very much, most of the time they still need help to make it through the month, is the reason that our country is poor. When there's 4 men that have most of the money in our country.
What men have most of the money in our country?
But let's cut food stamps.
We're talking about the parents.
So if you're a single mom, tell me, do you get food stamps? And if you do, how much do you get a month? Does it last you the month? How many kids do you have? Tell me.
It's not your business if I receive food stamps, right? And since I know automatically that supplemental income is not going to last me through the month, right? I do what I got to do. See, unlike other women, my daughter's father is in my life. I let him do what he has to do. I co-parent with him. You see where I'm coming from? Like, and even if he wasn't my fiance, right? Just like my other baby dad, may he rest in peace, right? When we wasn't together, I still let him come pick his kids up. I let him take his kids. I didn't let nobody talk bad about him in front of his kids. I had conversations, when they heard something that, wasn't good about daddy, as I should. So even if you're not in a relationship with somebody, you should be able to co-parent, right? And let them do their job. If his job is to sit here and maintain these kids with me, then we're going in 100. He buys them shoes, he buys them pants, he buys them shirts, gives them haircuts. I do the same thing. That way these kids don't need of nothing. And I've been blessed that I got a fiance that helps me, not just with his daughter, the daughter that we had, but with both my boys whose father is deceased. And that's rare to find in a man out here that will sit here and support a woman, right, with her kids. It's rare. Some men just, oh, no, that's not my kid. I'm not, no. I hear so many arguments about that shit. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, that shouldn't even be a debate, because if these kids' father is alive and there's nothing wrong with him, he should be maintaining his kids right along with, his ex and co-parenting with them. And the person that she's with shouldn't have a problem unless they're still dibbling and dabbling. That's a big different story. All right. But that's the topic for another live. And I'm hoping y'all get what I'm trying to say when I say that.
How did you become a single mom? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fact that men marry women, sell them this future, and then...
Okay, some men do that. But nobody gets married in 2025 no more. It's a few people that you hear talk about Beauty and the Beast, happily ever after. There's a few people you hear talk about, I want to live the Celia Cruz and Pedro nightlife. A lot of people want to live fucking Cardi B and Offset, Remy and Papoose, fucking Blueface and Krishan, which I think is stupid. I feel as though that no matter what, once you have these kids, it's not the government's job to maintain them. It's your job and the person that you had the kid with to maintain them. If y'all can't be together, then find a motherfucking way to support these kids together. Y'all don't have to live together. What I'm saying is find a motherfucking way to co-parent. I'm tired of people saying, well, I can't co-parent. Well, then you should have never, ever stuck your fucking third leg in her, and you should have never bounced on his pole. Get y'all shit the fuck together and grow up. That's the problem. We're fucking having kids, and we haven't freaking maturely grown up. I'm trying not to curse, and it's hard. Baby daddy, I'm trying. Word, I'm trying. OGs and old heads, I'm trying. But there's certain situations where, man, Lord have mercy on my soul.
And then somehow it's the moms that have to figure out how to raise these kids and asking for food stamps, food security for their.
That's bad, y'all. Yes, there are single moms out there that have, sat here, made the mistake, got with somebody, and this person is not the person they shouldn't have gotten off. But you know what? I've seen this woman pick herself up, do what she gotta do. And yes, does she receive help from the government? Yes. Her baby daddy ain't shit. Is either locked up, right? Or in the streets being a bum. She fucked up. She made the poorest decision. We can't drag her for that. She's picking herself the fuck up and doing her best for her and her child. But there's women out here that don't let the baby daddies, right, do their fucking job. And there ain't shit wrong with them. They probably moved on or doing good with their lives, don't want to be with them. You see where I'm coming from? I mean, there's so many ways I can go about this, but we're not just going to sit here and pick a side.
Their children is too much. Because I will never understand. I will never understand how feeding a child, feeding a person is somehow too much of a problem for our country. Make it make sense.
I don't have a problem feeding the next person. I have a problem with the next person being lazy and getting off their fucking mama's couch, popping their mama's titty out their fucking mouth and knowing what the fuck they gotta do when they're grown up. You wanted to grow up and do grown up decisions, then be grown up enough to know that it takes money to support a child, that it takes a place to keep this child safe. It's not the government's fault that you wanted to sit here and bounce on poles and pop out kids like they bowling balls. It's not people's fault. It's not the taxpayers' faults that you're sitting here acting like you're a Tatiana, a whole lot lizard, collecting sperm inside your belly like you Lil Kim and shit. It's not our fault. It's yours. Take accountability.
What I got to last me the month as a low-income stay-at-home mom is that an entire bag of Gushers. You're getting $511.59 in EBT and $197.32 in WIC, and this is what you spend it on? See, this is why I support monitoring what people spend government-assisted aid on when it's especially funded by the taxpayers. No, because that's 9 cases of soda that you don't need. She bought cookies, she bought Rice Krispie treats, or the Gushers that were all up in that bag. Like, why are your young kids eating this? And then I'm confused because she uses government assisted aid to buy herself coffee and coffee creamer, which you don't need. Like, it's for things you need, not things you want. Honestly, look at the fridge. Capri Suns, juices, processed food, cases of soda. Like,
so let's be real. Why are the women really mad? Are they mad that they cannot feed their kids, or are they mad they can't live a luxurious life? This is really why all these women are complaining, because since the funds have been cut, they cannot live the luxury life. They can't go out there and buy all these name brand things. Well, try working and only getting a little bit of supplemental income, right? And you not being able to still live the life that you're living. You got me fucked up because I'm still trying to figure out how half these females are sitting out here. Yo, man, they going out there getting lobsters with their food stamps. I'm like, y'all really at the crab shack buying crab legs and lobsters and shit like that? How in the world is you doing all my food stamps? Bitch, what? Get the fuck out. You got me fucked up. I'll go out and fish me a crab and then use that fucking food stamp. I need some rice. I need some dry beans. I need some milk. I need eggs. I need bread. Let me see what else. Oh, we need some meats. Let me see what else can we get. Listen, it's a lot of I need seasonings. I need this. I need that. You think I'm going to fucking sit here and buy snacks, Gushers, 7-Up, carts full of fucking nothing but chips and dip? That's what got you here in the beginning, bitch. You over here dipping and fucking dabbing and shit. Now you with 6 offsprings. The fuck? Ain't nobody told you to be fucking bouncing on fucking You know what? Let's play.
How is this healthy and using your government-assisted aid wisely to buy healthy, nutritious foods for your developing children's brain and body? Like on top of that, you spend all your money irresponsibly on unhealthy foods for your children and you're a stay-at-home mom, you're not even working. Like, this is why I am excited for Trump to make the changes on government-assisted aid, specifically EBT, where he's gonna make able-bodied people have to go back to work. Because why are you not working if you're healthy and can contribute by getting a job? Stop relying on the government. They're not your daddy. Literally, be so for real.
Tell me what you guys think about this video down below, and let me know if you guys think that these women...
Well, unfortunately, a lot of females think that the government is their daddy. Let me see. Was it this chick that said earlier? Listen to what this chick said earlier.
This month, Section 8 didn't pay my rent yesterday, so now I have to come up with $1,100 that I don't have. Okay, $1,100. Where am I going to come up with that? I don't have a job. I'm not looking for a job. I'm not going to get a job. I've never had a job. I'm not going to do it now. Okay, so now I have to come up with.
Listen to what this lady had to say.
That I don't have. Okay.
Oh shit, we got our OG in the building. 22 Ronin Straight Godzilla 22, guys. Make sure y'all go check him out. Yo, he is funny as hell. Yo, I'm telling y'all, I'm giving y'all a warning. He's raw and uncut, man. OG, you made it, man. But I'm about to end this live soon, man. But I appreciate the support, yo. I just want to show y'all a few things, you know, recap a little bit of what these females were saying in the beginning. I think one of them was talking about that she was trying to make this a generational wealth thing. Yeah, the first chick. I want y'all to listen to that chick before I end this live.
Where am I going to come up with that? I don't have a job. I'm not looking for a job. I'm not going to get a job. I've never had a job. I'm not going to do it now. Okay. I have been on welfare benefits for 13 years. And now they decide they want to put a time limit on this. It has been 13 years that I have received almost $10,000 a month in benefits.
She's been receiving $10,000 a month in benefits for 13 years for her and her 6 kids. But she's never worked, never had a job, don't want to work, don't want to look for a job. Now listen to this chick. Listen to this chick over here.
Let me know what you think.
And everyone is calling us bums because we don't work and we live off the government. And
I appreciate you, OG. I appreciate you too, man. Like, yo, you be bringing in like important topics, even though you funny as hell and you be trolling the shit out of people, man. Like, yo, listen, keep doing what you're doing, man. I appreciate you. You be making me crack the fuck up, yo. And man, you got somebody be hopping on your panel, man. Tell him that, man, when we smoking, that kush, that ganja is not supposed to make you go. That means, man, you don't got that good shit. You're supposed to smoke that shit and inhale that shit. It's supposed to, it's supposed to be smooth. Now you don't get high off that cough. Nah, man. I don't know what the fuck they got. I'm supposed to be enjoying my Dutch and enjoying that high. Now, half the time looking like something's wrong with me. I just caught a virus or I'm a zombie or some shit. I'm about to transform. Transformers.
we are proud of that. Growing up, this is what we were taught. We were taught to not have to work. We were taught to live off the government because it is there for us to use. And from what I could remember, it all started back with my grandparents. My grandparents used to get the paper. I could remember to live.
I heard what she said.
We don't work and we live off.
Shout out to Melda for for talking about that our generation mess up this generation. That our generation, teach this generation the things that they're doing. And me personally, I feel as though that it has, but I feel as though it goes a little further back. It goes a little further back. How do we stop? Right? How do we stop this? How do we break the chains of society and be who we're truly meant to be? Some people may call it a curse. I call it chains. We still chaining ourselves up.
The government, and we are proud of that. Growing up, this.
Listen what she's proud of.
Queen.
And everyone is calling us bums because we don't work and we live off the government. And
everyone is calling her a bum because they don't work and they work. She works off the government, and she's proud of that. I wouldn't be proud of that.
And everyone is calling us bums because we don't work and we live off the government. And we are proud of that. Growing up, this is what we were taught. We were taught to not have to work. We were taught to live off the government because it is there for us to use.
See, she said, growing up, this is what we were taught. No, not all of us were taught that. And like I said earlier on, right? I was motivated. See, people didn't want to transfer the generational welfare to me. They wanted to pass on generational wealth. I was just a hard-headed kid that was lashing out to the world because I didn't know who to turn to receive the help that I needed, the help that I was screaming for. So I made a few mistakes in life, but I took accountability and now I'm starting from zero. That is my karma for fucking up and not choosing the path that I knew I should have chose. But because the anger I had inside of me, right, the emotions I had, that's what I let lead me instead of me leading myself, instead of me being the captain of my own ship. It's not that I didn't have the right support system. It's that I didn't know. I was ignorant to the facts. So she's not going to sit here and tell me we was taught to be lazy and depend off the welfare. Yes, some people were, but not everyone.
And from what I could remember, it all started back with my grandparents. My grandparents used to get the paper, like the paper coupons to go and pay for, food and stuff like that. And that's when I was like, this is free.
I remember them Johns, but I don't remember them Johns, right? Because I think the last time, if I'm not mistaken, when we stopped using them Johns was like around 95, 96, right? And I was only like 5, 6 years old, 7 years old at most. So I remember them Johns, but I don't remember. It's like it's fading. It's fading. But I remember them.
Free money, like what? So living off of EBT is literally a tradition in our family.
It's
Once
your
my grandparents
family.
passed away, my mom started, applying, and she got approved for all 6 of us kids. And then, once my sister got older, she had her first child. She applied for food stamps, and she got, it was just like, a domino effect. One after another, we all got approved for EBT. And guess what? It's not going to stop there. Why? Because I have taught my children, and I'm going to be teaching my grandchildren that they should do the same thing. They don't have.
She's going to teach her kids and her grandchildren. They should do the same thing. They should depend off the government. They don't have to get up and go to work. And she's wondering, people wondering why they're getting hard on this because they're catching on, y'all dumb idiots. Y'all are coming online to self-snitch on yourselves. What's funny is the news says, listen, a news reporter would come on and say, well, Trump is, trying to do this, boom, boom. And now you see all these people online saying this, saying that, saying, I'm like, y'all, what the fuck, y'all freaking singing confessions just like Usher. The only difference is the motherfucker cheated and y'all committing fraud. Like, is y'all serious? Take accountability. Y'all know what the fuck y'all doing is wrong. And now people on here talking about turning generational welfare into generational wealth. Like it's a tradition? This bitch must have fell and bumped her head. Something happened. Did your mama surgeon when she was, helping your mom bring you to this world accidentally, cut you in the head? Like did they poke you in the head with one of the little surgical tools they had? Like, did your mama push you out so hard to the point where you bumped your head in the wall? Because I'm trying to figure this shit out. Fuck wrong with some of y'all? Get the fuck off and get out your mama's couch. Get your mama's titty out your mouth and grow up.
Have to work. They could just have children, put themselves on EBT, get child support, all of that I do so I don't have to work. They could do it themselves too.
Are you guys happy? Are you guys happy? I get a knock at my door. I open the door, And of course, there's 3 people.
All right, so we're gonna leave it at that. That's all the time that a shorty got for y'all, man. I appreciate everybody that tuned in, man, rocked out with a shorty. All right, because y'all didn't have to be here. Y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all chose to be here with a shorty, man. I appreciate that, man. Till next time, a shorty out.
By example, they stumble. Their guidance